YouTube, what is going on? Daniel back here for another video. Want to share something quickly before I go play basketball. I'm at the driving parking lot of the place right now. Have a bit of time, and that's essentially what I want to speak about. Is not basketball, but doing something that gets you out of thinking, which is the enemy, and gets you in spirit and makes you feel good. So not feeling good in the way that you're programmed to feel good by chasing, something external. Could be you name it, whatever you give a feeling to and chase, and you think is gonna give it a feel good feeling is your devil, and that's what you're programmed to chase. But I mean feeling good in the sense that your spirit is at play, and you're basically finding your inner child. For me, right now, I'm at a place where I've removed all the things that were getting me disconnected, just basically connected to this world, which is unfortunately that of the devil. So, you know, things that were vices was number one, always going out consistently, needing to always be around women or needing a woman to basically be my pleasure for the night. And, it just created a lot of lust in my life. And then I went into, late nights, experimenting with drugs as well and women, just adding different things to the picture, trips, always needing a feeling or chasing some kind of feeling. And that is when you become a slave to essentially things that are not real, things that are fabricated by your ego, stories you're telling by your ego, and essentially that dulls your spirit. And I had a call with that with my coach, mentor Mike today, and we had a long conversation about, that and how we all have something that brings our spirit out, our inner child. That essentially, you do it and you just feel like time just flies by, and you're able to express yourself in a way where you're not thinking, you're not in your head, you're not making stories. And for me, it's been sports as well. I was experimenting with dancing, salsa dancing, beginning of the year, and I actually enjoyed that a lot. So I'm gonna get back into that. But essentially, it's removing the programming that you think something external is going to make you feel good. I mean, salsa dancing, I don't need it, but the thing of dancing is, it's something that connects people. Um, there's, it's just like something that's a way to express your body. Sports as well as a team thing. But for me, I've always played sports. As you can see, I have the jersey, Argentina jersey, where my dad's from. Always been a fan of soccer growing up, football, sorry. And played basketball as well, played all different kinds of sports. I was always an athletic person. I was, doing things with my body and expressing that. I never was a dancer. My mom was a dancer, and my grandpa's a dancer as well. And, you can say it runs in the family, and it's something that I always want to experiment and see. But, I was always just chasing, especially the weekend, the nights. I was always lost in, recovering from that and thinking that it was in some, trip or meeting some girl somewhere and, going on some date and then getting that experience that was going to give me a feel good feeling. So you're chasing these short term highs and you're never actually able to find your inner child. And that's found, like I said, in your own thing. It could be cooking, maybe it could be dancing, it could be, who knows, sports, something where you're able to um, really let your inner child come out, and that's where you're able to learn more about yourself. Learn who you are when you're not thinking, because thinking is just a construct of your mind. It's something that the world, encourages you to do because they want to keep you low frequency. That's another video entirely, but everything's designed to keep you low frequency. So when you're in spirit and you're doing things that you enjoy, um, will that get you out of spirit, basically in the thing of play. So encouraging you to be in play more and not just do work. And the habits are important as well as the habits of staying away from vices, gym every day or 3 times at least, and then a day off, and then twice a day with the burpees, tracking your food, and staying away from environments that hurt you. But apart from that, you have to have things that you enjoy doing, or else it just becomes a chore. And yeah, a child does not want to be working all the time. Not saying you have to throw things away, or throw away responsibility, but you're able to enjoy and get the inner child out. So that's something important that you have to begin to experiment with if you want to get out of the lust and do it the right way and not chase something always like you're programmed to do, And like I said, that was my life for a long time. I was never able to do the things I'm doing now and experimenting and doing it in a way where, I'm not attached to a feeling that I get from that. For sports, I used to get very competitive, almost get in fights and, always compare myself to another player, or the way I was playing was mostly, football, soccer. Um, and now if I play, it's, I'm just disconnected from the result. I'm just doing it because it's something that I enjoy doing. So it's something that there's levels to it in terms of how you connect to it. And when you're beginning, you're going to get competitive and, probably argue and stuff like that if you're playing sports. If you're playing dancing or doing dancing or something like that, I mean, you can't really argue there, but there's certain things that you can find and experiment with that, you can see that your spirit is basically free. And that's the whole thing, being able to be free spiritually, and then from there remove the lust. So you can see more of how I do this on my Instagram. I'll be sharing more of my life there. I share my habits always, wake up time, gym, stuff like that, and reflections in the morning, but also the things I'll be experimenting with, just to, discover more of myself and also help other people get out of lust, because that's the thing I've been in. Like I said, 4 or 5 years was chasing women, dedicated 4 or 5 years of my life to the point where I was just neglecting other things, family, even friends, and just 100% committed to that. So it's something I know very, very well, how to get in, how to get out, and I want to help men get out of that, because it's something that is normalized, and your ego tells you, oh, it's fine to go and chase girls and get more women, and use it as like something to value yourself with. But I've been there, and it's something that's all an illusion. It's all fake, and there's no power that you get from that, of basing your strength or who you are off something external. It's all what your devil wants to program you to keep you a slave to, feelings that he creates in your head that are also fake, and all the thinking that you have in your head right now is fake, and your ego won't let you see that. But with time and certain experiences, you're going to see that you're a spiritual person having a physical experience, and not a physical person having spiritual experience. So I want to basically make this video to encourage you to go out, start doing something that you enjoy, get back in play, and not just um, work, because that's going to create pressure on you, and start creating these stories, and fear. And fear is basically the tool of the devil. And as I said before, children are the perfect creation of God, because they have no fear. They're always at play. They're always thinking of the next thing to create or imagine. And when fear comes in, that's when they become adults over time, and then that's the purification of the devil. So yeah, encouraging you to go play, do something that you like. Like I said, for me, it's sports, and I'm seeing dancing, but it could be something else. But for you, it's something completely different. So, and it's not going to be you consuming or watching some Netflix show. It's you expressing yourself in some sort of way. So definitely go experiment, do that. And you can connect with me on Instagram, let me know how it goes. And, you could see how I do it as well. And just basically do things that keep me connected to the one that created everything, created you, created the earth you live on, and all the everything's already written. So it's just basically following the steps that will get you there. So God bless, enjoy your day, night, or morning when you're watching this. And in the meantime, as always, keep killing it.